Good evening and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shrija Sharma and I'm your moderator for today's event, Envision 2020. This is Sankara Eye Foundation's first of a series of virtual events planned under the SEF Envision label. And we have an exciting program laid out for you today. The Envision series aspires to inculcate the spirit of giving to today's youth, as well as everyone else, regardless of age, gender, economic strata, or geography. We are planning to deliver great programs by bringing together renowned philanthropists, world-class entrepreneurs, thought leaders, big enterprise CXOs, and some of the most great minds. Our next speaker is India's most respected and admired intellectual, Mr. Amitabh Kant. Amitabh ji is recognized as India's renowned change leader of our times. He is best known for his transformative ideas and enjoys a long-standing reputation as having written India's playbook on economic growth, governance, policy, rural development, infrastructure, and entrepreneurship. He currently serves as the CEO of Niti Aayog, standing for National Institution for Transforming India, an apt role for a man of such intellect and accomplishments. Niti Aayog is a policy think tank of the Government of India. Under his able leadership, Niti Aayog has made many foundational breakthroughs in sustainability and cooperative engagements with India's state governments on economic policy using a compelling bottoms-up approach. Amitabh ji is the key driver and mastermind behind some of the most successful national campaigns over the past few decades. Some prominent programs under his leadership are Make in India, Startup India, Incredible India, and God's Own Country. Amongst his many accolades, Amitabh ji received the Economic Times Policy Change Agent of the Year Award, the Bloomberg TV Personality of the Year Award, the NDTV Administrator of the Year Award, and the Distinguished Fellowship of the Institute of Directors. He is the recipient of One Globe Award 2016 for leadership in transforming governance for the 21st century. He is a member of the steering board of Shaping the Future of Production Systems of the World Economic Forum. I can go on and on and on. Presenting India's man who never sleeps, Amitabh Kant.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be speaking at Envision, which is the virtual awareness series of the SEF Foundation. I find it truly very inspirational that the foundation works towards addressing curable blindness that affects millions across the world. I was reading that SEF has served 12.1 million people across the world and has undertaken 2.1 million free surgeries. This is a remarkable feat, and I must congratulate you all for the wonderful work that you do in the interest of people and humanity. These are unprecedented times for the entire world. We never imagined that we would witness a pandemic in our lifetime. And yet, here we are in the midst of a pandemic that is threatening lives and livelihoods across the world. As governments, citizens, NGOs, private sector companies, and international development agencies put up a brave front fighting the immediate effects of this pandemic, there is also a need to think about how this pandemic affects the weaker sections of the society and act upon it. As per the World Bank, global extreme poverty is expected to rise for the first time in 20 years. COVID-19 could push back as many as 115 million people back into poverty. In this context, the need to give back to the society is critical, now more than ever. It was truly encouraging and heartwarming to know that global philanthropic giving in support of COVID-19 response during just the first half of 2020 total more than $12 billion. And these are only the ones which could be recorded. Today, this number would be much higher, in fact, much higher. Today's philanthropic donations are at an all-time high, with everyone From Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and to the average citizen, all committing funds to address the pandemic in one way or the other. In India, Azim Premji has committed almost $21 billion towards philanthropic initiatives, making it one of the 5 largest endowments in the world and the biggest in Asia. The work of Mr. Premji's foundation in India is a stellar example of how philanthropy can facilitate the evolution of an equitable and sustainable society. This is the key for a better tomorrow, where countries are not just defined by their economic growth, but also by their equitability and inclusiveness. It is not just governments and international development agencies alone who can achieve this. Entrepreneurs and private citizens have a huge and a massive role to play. This is where social entrepreneurship comes in. Today, social entrepreneurs are leading change across the world, and social entrepreneurship and social impact are being taught across leading business and policy schools of the world. Today, we have entrepreneurs who do not merely want to earn money, they also want to make an impact on the lives of the people in the world. Social entrepreneurs have proven that sustainable and inclusive business models for philanthropic causes can not only be developed but also scaled up rapidly. The CSR landscape in India has seen constant evolution. Today, Indian businesses have incorporated CSR as part of their business model and sustainable business strategies. I'm very proud that Indian businesses through CSR have already been doing significant work to assist the country's battle against COVID-19. Infosys, Reliance, TCS, Hindustan Lever, ITC, and hundreds of corporates have been at the forefront of CSR contribution for battling COVID-19. Indian corporates today are distributing free PPE kits, sanitizers, manufacturing and donating ventilators, and are developing technology solutions to assist the country in the fight against COVID-19. Companies set aside up to 80% of their CSR funds for the fight against COVID, and this shows how corporates can leverage CSR to not just contribute to the upliftment of society, but how also they can help protect the vulnerable in times of national emergencies. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about growth today, we have to understand that growth that is not holistic and inclusive is not sustainable growth. A society cannot undergo sustained economic growth without a workforce that is educated, skilled, and healthy. Therefore, the growth has to be for all, and it has to be driven by all. Our growth must necessarily ensure that we also work on improving health outcomes and learning outcomes. We in India run the Aspirational Districts program, the largest experiment on outcome-based governance in the world. These are some of the poorest, the most backward districts of India. We don't call them backward, we call them the Aspirational Districts of India. We identified 112 districts across 28 states in India which have the poorest performance across various socioeconomic indicators. But we work with them to improve their outcomes. We employ a unique model of convergence, competition, and collaboration to improve health, education, and other socioeconomic indicators. We collaborate with the private sector, civil society, and NGOs, bringing convergence between various levels of government and also foster competition. And we rank these districts on their performance. Our collaboration with organizations in the Aspirational District program, it is a unique example of how social entrepreneurship can improve outcomes. For instance, we partnered with Piramal Foundation to improve health and nutrition and education indicators through capacity building, community engagement, strengthening of public health facilities for providing quality healthcare services. Ladies and gentlemen, the vast scale of data and the massive digital footprint are the world's biggest strength for the technological leapfrogging. As we move from being data rich to data intelligent, We will use machine learning and artificial intelligence to find solutions to a vast number of the global challenges: water availability, learning outcomes, health improvement, and enhanced agriculture productivity. If we are able to innovate for our challenges of water, health, education, and agriculture, we will be finding solutions for the next 3 to 4 billion people of the world who will be moving from poverty to middle class in the coming decade. I encourage you all to innovate for the world. There's nothing more satisfying and fulfilling than being able to make an impact by giving back to the society. If thousands of you, young students and startups, can innovate and support social good, we will be transforming the world. We will fully support all of you in your endeavors, and we'd be very happy to collaborate with you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Amitabh ji, for your very well articulated, informative, and powerful message. History will remember leaders such as you who work selflessly for the greater good of nation building. Wish you continued success and more power to you.